In this video, I'm going to show you how to change the appearance of a form, its theme, the font, the background, and any images. Now, this form that we've been working with is kind of bland, kind of dull, not a lot to it. What you want to do to differentiate it and make it different from your other forms is you want to change the theme. So you're going to go here in your basic input and you're going to go up here where it says change theme. Now it's going to switch over and show you roughly what it's going to look like when someone's taking it. Now you can stick with this basic default one, or they have a lot of different themes that they've built in. This one's called At the Fair, Beach Evening, Birthday Cats. What you're going to notice for each one of these is the background is going to change, the font is going to change, and it's going to have a different header image. Now it of course comes with a lot of default ones, but, and there's a lot more you can go with. I am preferential to the Science Lab myself. What I like to do even more so than that is I like to customize this basic default theme. So I'm going to click on the theme right here. Underneath each one it will say customize. You can take that and you can change it. I've got options to change the header image, the title, your description. That's this little part right here. Questions, help text, the options, and both the background of the form and the background of the page. So let's start by changing the title. I have a lot of different options here for the title. Here's all the different fonts I could go with. I'm changing this part right here. I could change it from bold to not bold. I can change the size of the title to make it center, right align, left align, and I can even change the color of it if I want. So that's under the title. If I go under description, that's this part right here. Same thing right here. Could change all these different things here. Center, left, or right align. Now for questions, this is the part that we actually put in down there. You know, like whether it's going to be multiple choice or check boxes or whatnot here. You can do rubato. One of the things that I suggest is make your questions a little bit larger. Currently it's set at small. I'm going to make it medium. Just makes it a little bit easier to read on different types of screen. And I'll keep the text color at black, but of course you have lots of different options that you could go with here. I'm going to minimize it by clicking on that again. Help text, that's going to be the stuff that appears underneath your question, your little hints or suggestions. Of course I could change the font, and I suggest making those a little bit larger too. Just makes it a little bit more readable on different screens. And of course this one is a lighter gray because it's emphasizing this is what you want to focus on. Here's just a little help. I'm going to keep that as is. Options. If we have something like a multiple choice, and I'm going to create one really quick. Now I can play around with the options, and the options are your different potential answers here. So if I change options, currently it's set to rubato. I'm going to make that a little bit larger. That of course is changing all my multiple choice options. You need to go really large with this. Complete flexibility on your part. Now we get into the fun part. The form background and the page background is where you're going to really start to differentiate your forms from the others. Now I can change the form background. That is currently what is this white section right here, everything that's in the back. You don't want to really put an image there because that'll kind of distract from the text, but you do have options with what you want to do with the colors. So I could do a red background. Oh, that's hard to read. Still kind of difficult to read. You have a lot of different options. You could maybe just go with the default white, or maybe you want something that's a little bit easier on the eyes. Your choice. And then of course, let's just go back to a white background, and then we could do the border color. I could do a black border around it. I could do a white border around it. If I'm feeling crazy, I could do a yellow border. So that's everything that's going to go in this little part. Now the page background, where you can really differentiate your forms from someone else's. The page background, I'm going to want to put an image here, and I'm going to actually tile it. I'm going to choose an image that I've already pre-selected. Now I can upload one, I could take a snapshot of something, I could upload by URL. I of course have albums and you do in Google Drive. In this case, I already have the image that I want, so I'm just going to upload it. There we go. Now I've put in a little bit of a page background. Let's take a look and see what it actually looks like. Here's what it was before. Now we've got a little bit of character to it. So I can do that. I can tile the image or not. Now if I wasn't to do that, it's essentially just going to put one image up there, but I like to have tile. It just kind of makes it a little bit more unique. I can change the centering, left or right or center, and of course if I don't like the image, just click on remove or change the image here. But I like the way it is here. Yeah, I like the way that looks. So that's how I change the background. One last thing you can do is you can put a header image. So I'm going to go here and click on where it says header image, and I'm going to choose my image. The interface for this one is a little bit different than the page background. It's got a lot of their own, and unfortunately you can't paste by URL. You have to upload the image. However, I already have an image in mind that I want to do, so I'm going to choose an image, and it's going to upload that. And there. Now we have a nice background, we have a header image. Here's what my actual form is going to look like. That's definitely a lot more unique and a lot more interesting. One other thing you want to do with the header image, of course you can choose left, right, or center. This one's large enough where it's not an issue. One thing that I would recommend you do is hit fit to width. That's going to make that a little bit larger, take up a little bit more of that white space, give you a much more visually interesting form. So here's what we end with. You can change all the different parts, all the appearance of this form.